people would be surprised when we cast Isis as the first ever transgender woman on Top Model, but I had no idea that she would become famous all over the world. And when you take a look at the photos surrounding me, it's just as shocking to realize that Isis once looked like this. Yeah, let's take a look at Isis's journey. She's gone from the background of a picture to the headlines of magazines and newspapers everywhere. Isis is the most talked about top model of all time. This girl is absolutely amazing. And my staff said, Tyra, there's something a little different about that girl.
I was born physically male, but mentally, everything else, I was born female.
Being the first transgender top model contestant proved difficult at times. But Isis never gave up.
I'm here, I'm myself. This is how I've always been. Transition or not, I'm me.
And her determination has inspired countless others. Everybody stand up for Isis! Stand on up for Isis! She had no idea that I was about to introduce her to someone who could change her life. I invited somebody here today. Dr. Marcy Bowers, the country's premier genital reassignment surgeon.
I'd like you to come out to do your surgery, assuming you want me to do your surgery. I want to do this for you.
Thank you. This is not happening.
But it was happening. It was happening. It was Isis's dream. Check this out. It's 5 a.m., the morning of the surgery. Isis and her mother are heading to the hospital.
Get the wheelchair, and we're going to go ahead and get your wheel down to anesthesiology. All righty. Ready?
In less than 5 hours, Isis will emerge from her deep sleep to find that her journey is complete.
You ready? No turning back now. I'm okay. I feel okay. Lord, please help Isis in her journey and what she wants to do. Just help her to be the woman that she wants to be. Go.
It took 4 hours and 15 minutes to change Isis into an anatomical female. Dr. Bowers is there to assure her that everything went just fine.
Do you feel different?
Only pain.
Only pain? Yeah, you'll have some pain. It looks so well, so beautiful.
Oh,
Bella looks pretty. We got lots of depth. Even the pelvis is plenty wide. So everything was good.
Perfect. It's almost like I was supposed to have it.
Almost like you were supposed to have it, right? So I would say so.
The healing process is long and at times painful. From her first meal to her first steps, everything is a struggle.
Just relax as much as you can. Take a deep breath and just relax.
But I know to Isis, it's that struggle that makes the reward that much sweeter.
I'm doing good, Tyra. I'm making it through. Getting better. I can't wait to really be able to walk stand up for more than a second and just walk in my runway that I love so much.
Whoa. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Are we ready to see Isis now? Come on out here, Miss Isis. Okay, so you were in a lot of pain in that video, but you just came out here runway walking and strutting your stuff. Are you in pain right now?
No pain.
Really?
Although, you know, it was very recent. I just knew what I had to do, and I was just ready to get back to the real me, the regular me, who I am. So.
Tell me about the first time you looked in the mirror. You know, really looked in there.
Oh, okay. Well, although it was, you know, swelling and bruising and everything, you know, I automatically felt more comfortable, you know, ready to just walk around the house with just my little shorts and, you know, just felt more confident, you know.
Well, you have somebody very special in your life right now.
Yeah.
Isis has a boyfriend. What's his name?
His name is Desmond.
Hi, Desmond. How are you? Come on up here, Desmond. Come on up here. Hello, Desmond. So how long have you guys been together?
About a little over a month now.
A little over a month. And you met where?
We met 3.5 years ago on MySpace.
On MySpace, okay. You met on MySpace. And did you know that she was transgendered when you met her?
I did know. When I met her, she was a male. We were...
So were you dressed as a guy back then?
At the time, yes, I was about to start my transition, but he's a graphic designer, and at the time I was very big on my designs and my fashion design, so we kind of wanted to collaborate on a few things. It was more from like a friend perspective, and then it became like a best friend. He became my male best friend.
So tell me about Isis and why you love her.
She's strong, she's beautiful. She's my soulmate. You know, we were best friends for about 3.5 years. You know, it was never anything on that level. We just loved each other and cared for each other, just grew. We both helped each other in our dating situations.
But I heard you had a dream about her, though.
Yes, I did.
When you were just friends.
When we were just friends, I had a dream that I was getting married. And as the bride came down the aisle, you know, we were in some place tropical. We were on a cliff. The bride came down the aisle. It was Isis. I lied to her. I told her that she got married, and, you know, she wanted to know what he looked like, how tall was he, was he dark? And I told her it was somebody else, and just after a while, it just weighed really heavy on my heart, and I had to tell her it was me.
I can tell that your voice is shaking now, that you really love her.
I do.
I can tell. Okay, I'm sure everybody wants to know. It's a question that I do have to ask, because I know it's on the mind of all of you at home. Would you consider yourself gay, or bi, or...?
She's a female. I would consider this to be a heterosexual relationship. I don't look at her, I never did look at her as a man. You know, when I first met her, she was a man, but when I talked to her, everything was female. Like, she was supposed to be a female. She is a female. I'm straight, she's a woman.
We'll be right back. When Isis became the first transgender finalist on America's Next Top Model, she also became the most talked about, the most blogged about, the most Googled woman in top model history. Less than 1 month ago, Isis underwent genital reassignment surgery, and we've been following Isis from the very beginning of her journey, from being an anatomically male to being a woman that she's always felt that she was. Joining us is Isis and her boyfriend Desmond and her mom Sheree and Dr. Marcy Bowers, the surgeon who performed Isis's very delicate surgery. And by the way, Dr. Bowers is also transgender. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi. So, Mama, how are you feeling now that your daughter has gone through this surgery? You were there by her side through every step of it.
Yeah. It was fine. It was a lot of work. I had to lift her and actually go back to like changing diapers.
You did?
Yeah, so
you had to go back to changing diapers like she was a little baby again.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, you're changing those diapers, and when you changed those diapers before, it was different, right?
A lot different.
And now you're changing those diapers and going, oh my gosh, this is so different.
Exactly.
Yeah?
I felt a little violated.
You felt a little violated. Tell your mom I would love to hear you tell your mom about the support and her being there for you and what that meant for you, because it's so rare. I mean, there are mothers of children who, not transgendered, but are gay, and will leave their lives and never speak to them again and excommunicate them from the family. I mean, you went through this process and your mother was there 100%, so I'd love to hear you tell her what her support means to you.
Don't be starting it. I just want to thank you for being there with me. It meant a lot, and I didn't realize it would be so much work for you. I really appreciate it. You know, you've always been there for me, and it just shows that through this, you know, I know that no matter what, you'll always be there for me, and I'll always be there for you. And a lot of what I do is inspired by you and me wanting to help you out, because I know you struggle so much, and just want to help you out with the future, and, you know, one day you won't have to struggle anymore.
Oh, thank you. That'll make me proud.
And then Dr. Bowers, I understand that you have a nickname for Dr. Bowers now. What's this nickname?
She's my Mama Marcy.
Mama Marcy.
And these are my two daughters.
These are your two daughters. So would you say that Isis is a good patient?
Oh.
Or is she not following all of her...
You know we love her. But she was what we call high maintenance.
High maintenance? Are you serious?
Oh, my. We actually have a new nickname for
What is
Isis.
that?
And I'm sorry.
What is it?
We call her Boo Boo.
Boo Boo. High maintenance.
She had a little bit of an accident afterwards, and so...
Oh! On blast right now. Is that normal to have a little boo-boo after the surgery?
Sometimes these happen. I would say she was typical of our younger patients that need just a little bit more hand-holding, and they feel a lot more. And, I mean, imagine, it's just so difficult to go from male anatomy to female anatomy.
Yes.
And so it's, you know, yes, she was delicate.
Delicate. You know, it's okay that you use the bathroom after. I had a colonoscopy, and my mom was in the room with me, and I could not stop farting after. and the whole nurses were walking around and trying to pretend like it was normal, but I saw them snickering. Because it wasn't just like pop, pop, pop. It was like pop, 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 pop. So I'm farting you boo-boo. It's okay, girl. It's all right. So I know that...
It wasn't, it's just that, you know, when my first time I got up, I don't have that problem. So don't blog about it. Please.
Now, I know there's something called dilating that, that ISIS is supposed to be doing. Explain dilating.
Well, patients that have gone from male to female in their surgery, they need to keep the vagina open because what the body wants to do is it has a tendency to scar back. And so these acrylic to close or stenose is the medical term. But we keep it open with a process called dilation, which is the placement of some acrylic rods inside the vagina. These 7-inch long rods, which are kind of make a girl blush when you first see them, they need to be placed there 3 times a day.
For how long?
3 months, and then the schedule gets less frequent.
Got it. And does it hurt?
It's not pleasurable. It is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mommy and Desmond already, and Mama Marcy, you know, you missing one. You gotta get to work. I'm like, okay.
Gotta do the dilating.
I mean, it's really not. It don't take that long to do, but.
But if you don't do it, what could happen if she doesn't dilate?
Well, the area can reclose again or scar back. And so
then,
actually, we came back one night and we had been out a bit and had some fun. But we came back and had a little mother-daughter pep talk about dilating because she said to me, it hurts too much, I can't do it. And I'm like, oh my God, we came all this way. You are not going to lose your you-know-what.
And so let's talk about that. So is she dilating to be able to have sex?
Yes.
Is that what it is
yes.
for?
To keep the vagina open and to allow, you know, potentially some action.
So Desmond, are you over there going, come on, babe, you got to dilate? Yeah? Yeah. And I have to ask you about the surgery. Can you take us through the steps of making the penis the vagina? How does that happen?
You said one time snip, snip. It's not snip, snip. It's more like rearranging the deck chairs. We're actually using homologous or same tissue parts from male anatomy and converting those to female. So the head of the penis becomes the clitoris. The skin of the penis becomes part of the vagina. The labia are created out of part of the scrotal sac. And part of the scrotum is used to lengthen the vagina. So
wow. I heard it's almost like turning...
It's a little bit like turning
the male anatomy inside out into the inside.
But the components are divided.
Wow. Very interesting. We will be right back. ISIS made international headlines when she became the first transgender contestant on America's Next Top Model. Earlier this season, ISIS was introduced to Dr. Marcy Bowers, who's the country's premier genital reassignment surgeon. And last month, ISIS underwent the surgery, and today she's sharing her story publicly for the very first time. I have to ask you, we were talking about the anatomical changes and the medical things that you've done. Now I want to get to pleasure.
Oh, yes.
Can ISIS achieve orgasm now after the gender reassignment surgery?
I can answer that one for you.
What do you think?
Of course.
You think yes?
Before I even had the surgery, I've done research for it for many years. I know that Mama Marcy was the best, and I know that, you know, with any surgery, there's always a chance that something isn't possible, but I've already noticed, you know, my body changing and different things happening, so I know as soon as my time comes.
So it is possible.
Most patients are able to orgasm after surgery.
Wow. Yes. I did not think that that was possible. That is fantastic. Now, Dr. Bowers is also transgendered. And used to be transgender, now a woman, right?
Yes. I'm not transgender
Yeah,
anymore.
you used to be transgendered, now is a woman. And we have the photos prior to your surgery, which I know that you don't really show.
But we must.
You're going to show them. Let's check Dr. Bowers out before her transition. Wow. You were hot.
Well, I know, but that mustache was so last century, you know.
Wow, so is that your children and wife?
Yes, my spouse, yes.
Wow.
My two oldest girls.
Is that you as a little boy?
Well, yes.
Oh, so cute. Oh.
And that's me.
Wow.
Sledding.
So when did you know? We're looking at all those pictures. When did you know that you were a woman?
I was very typical, like most transgender patients, is that I knew by age 4 or 5 that just something wasn't right, and I felt so much more connected with my sisters and other girls at the time.
But then you got married.
Well, you try to suppress it. You try to do, try to do what society tells you to do. And so I played all those cards, and one of the things was to get married. So I did, but you just can't get rid of it, and it just continues to sort of nag at you. And so until you unite your body with your soul, you just can't move forward.
Whole. And then I understand it was after your third child was born?
That's
right. And then how soon after did you announce to your spouse that it was right after?
Just very shortly. Well, actually, he still had not been born yet, and I had already told her that I was taking hormones and was, you know, in the process of transitioning.
And what did she say?
Oh, it wasn't a good dinner, but
yeah.
But you know what? We're like sisters. I'm like the sister she never had, so we've stayed very close,
yes.
and we moved on from it.
And can I ask if you're in a relationship now? Can I ask that? You are.
I am.
Nice.
I am in a relationship.
I think it's great that Isis has you as a mentor of somebody that has gone through this, and you know, to be able to, she's lived what you are living right now, and I think that's the best mentor. Now, prior to Isis's surgery, it was very uncomfortable for her to be in a swimsuit. Do you remember that? It led to your elimination on Top Model.
I remember that.
She's like, you know, I have on a swimsuit, and I have parts that aren't necessarily the most comfortable in this swimsuit right now, Tyra, and she's just struggling. Check this out.
So I have my gender reassignment surgery. It's some things that I have to do extra that the other girls don't have to. I have on like 3 pair of undergarments just in case the tape did peel off because of the water. I'm so nervous about that.
I think Isis was really concerned about wearing a swimsuit and posing in the water.
Eyes wider.
That photo landed Isis in the bottom 2. And ultimately was the reason she was eliminated.
So Isis, what happened? You were supposed to go so far. The girl that we saw in those photos last season is not here. She's disappeared in her pictures, and she's disappeared in personality. But if you want to be a model, you can. Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Now we have a more confident Isis. We obviously know what was holding her back at that Top Model photo shoot. So what we did is we had Isis do a brand new photo shoot after her surgery, a swimsuit photo shoot. Check this out.
I'm feeling very good about the photo shoot right now. This is my first one post-surgery, and I'm ready to just get back out there and show everybody that, you know, I'm really ready and I'm serious about this.
We chose the ultra-hip and sexy rooftop pool at the Gansevoort Hotel as the backdrop for Isis's first swimsuit photo shoot since her surgery. And we have one of my favorite photographers, Carl Giant, to get the perfect shot.
This is, you know, a beautiful, sexy location for a beautiful and sexy girl. Okay, we're good. We're ready for Isis. Ooh, you are giving it. Damn, I love it. That's great, beautiful, disgusting.
I feel very sexy.
Ooh, it's just so bitchy fierce. The shot is golden.
I got the bathing suit issue out of the way, and now I feel very confident and sexy, and after this I can do anything.
All right. So, are you ready to see your photos from that?
Yes.
Your best shots?
My best shot.
Okay, we chose 3. Here's the first one, laying by the pool. Sexy, sexy. And here's the next one. And this is my final favorite, leg. I love that picture. That one is my absolute favorite. What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah?
It's obviously a lot more confidence than
Look
before.
at you. She's just like, hey, working it. I love that picture. I wish it was on Top Model, actually. I'm a little jealous. Now, Desmond, what do you think?
Yeah, no words. Great.
No words. So why don't you take it from here? You tell us what you think your best shots are and all that. What was your favorite?
You chose 3. I chose 3 stones. 1 for the past, 1 for the present, 1 for our future.
There you go.
Oh my goodness.
Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat, Desmond. Isis's ring comes from Love and Pride, the first online jeweler catering to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community. Good luck. We'll be right back. Okay, it's time to meet the latest eliminated eliminated girls from cycle 12 of Top Model, but first, check out what's been going on so far.
We started with 34 girls, but we narrowed it down to 13.
Pack your belongings and go home.
Every one of them had something special.
I look sexy as hell.
But each episode brings a new challenge.
You know, it sounds easy, but when you're actually there, it's not.
Are you ready?
You are not serious about that photo.
I've never done anything like this in my entire life, and so I'm nervous.
This photo was probably one of the biggest disasters of the day.
And the competition only gets tougher.
Look how long ugly walls. Bitch, you got ugly ass corns. So what? I'm beautiful. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Because in the end, only one girl can be America's next top model.
So who stays in this competition? Alrighty. So, first three eliminated girls from cycle 12 of America's Next Top Model: Isabella, Jessica, and Nyjah. Come on out here, girls. Very, very nice. Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. So, Isabella, I'm going to start with you. How many times did you try out for Top Model?
Well, I auditioned twice for America's Next Top Model. The first was for cycle 11. I sent in an audition video, and I actually made it to callbacks in New York and waited for a while to get that final callback saying that I made it to casting week, but I didn't. But I'm a persistent girl, so I was like, okay, I'm going to send in another video for cycle 12, which I did. And I got all the way back to New York, and yeah, I got back.
And what were you doing when you auditioned the first time? You were working at Starbucks?
Starbucks, yes. I'm a barista at Starbucks. You know, doing my runway walk behind the bar, all that cool stuff, yeah. And everybody's so supportive of me there. They're really cool.
This is the photo that got Isabella eliminated. So that was you doing handball. You guys remember that photo of her? Yeah. Yes. And I went through your film, Isabella, and I was just having a hard time, oh my goodness, to choose a good photo. But we're going to do a little something that you're going to make that up today. Let's move on to Jessica. So Jessica was the very overconfident girl. Do you remember her? I'm just beautiful. I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty. I'm pretty.
You know, I think if you're going into the competition, you have to think that because it could get overwhelming with, you know, 60 girls in the beginning that we start off with or something like that. And it could get overwhelming. We're all competing for the same thing, so you have to root for yourself. That's just, I didn't want to be in that negative light as being cocky. No, I'm comfortable in my skin, and I advise everybody to be comfortable in their skin.
And then you got eliminated on the photo shoot where Nyjah was taking your photo. How did it feel to have Nyjah take your photo?
How did it feel? I mean, you guys, I bet you guys think he's sexy, and he is good looking. Yeah. You know?
Did that make you nervous?
Yeah, I advise you not to have a photo shoot with him then.
Yeah?
If you think he looks good.
He made you nervous. And then Nyjah, you were doing a little something, what were you doing before Top Model?
I actually auditioned for Ebony Fashion Fair during the same week, pretty much, for America's Next Top Model. I actually got the job and everything was.
Are you serious?
Yes,
you got it? Let me explain what Ebony
job.
Fashion Fair is for everybody that does not know. Ebony Fashion Fair is run is like a fashion show troupe of models that travel around the entire globe. It's put on by Ebony Magazine, which is an African-American magazine that's been around longer than our grandparents have been alive. And the fashion shows are over the top. The women spin and twist, and they do the swirl and the sachet and everything. So you got this job to travel with them.
I got the job. I was getting ready to sign off everything, and it's a tour for 6 months, so you're all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
And right before I was getting ready to leave, I got the phone call for my second audition, and I was just like, ah! So I had to tell Ebony that I had a bigger opportunity to come in the door, and I wasn't going to let my dream go by like that.
Well, you got eliminated because you did the artist shoot on top of a double-decker bus, and she had the dead eyes, which is so sad. All your except for your first picture, they were very dead eyes. You weren't smiling with the eyes, but I'm going to give all of you girls a chance to redeem yourselves. When we come back, they're going to do a very special redemption photo shoot trio, all three of them. They're going to be holding lights because that's what Jessica went home for. They are going to be trying to smile with their eyes, and they're going to have balls thrown at them. All at the same time. And they're going to be superheroes. We'll be right back. So I'm giving these three latest eliminated girls from Top Model a chance to prove that they can look disgusting. That's the new word for fierce. Disgusting. In front of the cameras. Now, the twist for Isabella, Jessica, and Nyjah is that they're going to have to work together as a trio for their redemption photo shoot by our celebrity photographer and model photographer, Carl Giant. Hi, Carl.
Hey.
So, as I said before, the shoots are going to incorporate the skills and the things that y'all messed up at your photo shoot. Nyjah was not smiling with her eyes, so every girl's going to have to be like, shh, with the eyes. Jessica did not know how to work her glow sticks to find her light, and Isabella was just a mess with the balls that were being thrown at her. So you guys are going to be superheroes battling it out to see who can be the fiercest superhero supermodel. Okay? Okay. And I'm about to step away, and the shoot is going to start right now. Get your poses on. Here's your sticks. Here's your sticks. Here's your light sticks. I don't have to turn these damn things on, do you? Okay, are you ready? Smiling with the eyes. Smiling with the eyes. Strong, strong. Okay, Nyjah, I need to not smiling with the face, smiling with the eyes. Okay, Jessica, give me some neck. Jessica, I need neck. Okay, and Isabella, give me some strength. Use the bang and look at the camera. Almost hide underneath your bangs. Hold your poses longer, ladies. Okay, and move fluidly in between each shot. And keep it together. Okay, and woo! Yes, keep it going. Bam! Yes, again. 1, 2, 3. Bam! Give me a ball. Thank you. And 1, 2, 3. Last shot, and this ball is gonna hit all of you. Bam! It's gonna hit all of you. Bam! And okay. Okay. We're gonna take a break and see their picture at the end of the show, which is one more act. We'll be right back. So let's see your picture, your best shot, with everybody doing everything beautiful. Woo! Very nice. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a copy of that, because you redeemed yourselves. You redeemed yourselves. Now, Boots is the #1 health and beauty retailer in the UK, and it's now available here in America for the very first time. And everybody in the audience is going home with some amazing Boots products. Protect and Perfect Beauty Serum and the Boots #7 Lip Glaze and a coupon. And you're going home with nourishing shave cream and body lotion from the new eco-friendly Victoria's Secret Pink Body Line. And if you want to see an exclusive backstage interview with Isis and her new fiance Desmond, go to tyrashow.com. Okay, I need a pose, ladies. Okay, really nice. Interacting with each other. Tight, 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 tight. Get this, Carl. Get it, get it. And you're going to be able to see this picture on the internet, and I don't want you to retouch it real hot, okay? And Carl, I want you to make my dress pink like theirs, or yellow, and post. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. See you later.